Hi everybody, welcome back to the engine house. Got a little something going on here today. First a little bit here, I've got to put up with our dogs. You'll notice I'm not shooting in my normal place where I shoot because there's a little more light out here and it's a nice day, so we're out here in the living room on our coffee table. Anyway, what we have here is my wife's dad's locomotive in his 1947 train set is a Dreyfuss Hudson. It was designed by Lionel as a tribute to Henry Dreyfuss, who designed the full-scale Dreyfuss Hudson in the 1930s. So this was kind of a tribute to Henry Dreyfuss. There was a couple of changes. It was a 464, and because Lionel needed the space, this became a 264. Okay, and there were three versions of this locomotive. There's this version, which was the black version, and then there were two others that came with it. And what we have here today is, I do believe, one of the other versions. We will start with the locomotive here. This is the Dreyfuss. By the way, this one was built 1 year, 1947. Okay, this one was built in 1946. This is the 1946 Dreyfuss. This is the version C. This would be the version B. Version A had different colored wheels, and actually, I could be mistaken. This could be the version A. These wheels are not what I thought they were. This could very well be either the version A or the version B. I'll have to do a little more research on it. But I now have a second Dreyfuss to add. Sadly, it is not a whistle tender, even though it has the same type of vents as the 1947 model does. Could it be a whistle tender? There's everything there to make it a whistle tender. If I decide maybe I want to turn it into a whistle tender later on, I would have to change the trucks so they would have the same pickups as this tender has to turn that into a whistle tender. Will I do it? I don't know. I like to try to keep things somewhat original. But if I happen to come across an old tender that's pretty well beat up and I can use the parts to make a whistle tender out of this one, I might just do it. According to who I bought it from, this runs. I have, of course, no time to try it. No chance of trying it out. So what I'm going to do, of course, is, again, we are in the middle of packing to move. And I am not going to really do much of anything with this. I will probably set it on the transformer with a piece of track and see if it moves. If it does, great. It's still going to get taken apart and get cleaned. And then it'll get packed up along with the rest of them until we move out to Maine and our new home. Anyway, this is either the version A or B. They had the only difference between A and B were the wheels. And it appears this one is missing. There's some screws loose here, it appears. You can see this. So I will be tightening this up. I will be taking this apart, of course, and cleaning it. And it will run as the other one does, even though it does not have a whistle tender. But this was a shout out. At one point in time, this, again, was a shout-out to Henry Dreyfuss, the original designer of the full scale in the 1930s. At one time, these were, because this was only made 1 year and that was only made 1 year, these were very sought after by collectors. I was kind of surprised when I found that out. I'm really happy to have that one from the wife's dad. That's a really nice locomotive. It's fun now that it runs. And I'm even more happy now to have a second one to go with it. And if I find either the A or the B version, I will buy it as well. And again, I might make this into a whistle tender later, depending on if I get the time and find the parts I need to do it. And if not, oh well. It also needs new water slide decals. brain lock there for a minute. This one's starting to come apart, and this one, of course, is missing this. So I'll be ordering water slide decals for this, and this will get cleaned up. There's a little bit of rust showing. I doubt very seriously I'm going to do much with the rust, other than give this thing a nice bath and clean it so it shines a little better with the gray. I probably won't do much of anything with it. Anyway, that's pretty much it for now. I do know I said I was going to show putting water slide decals on that. I got sidetracked and forgot that it happens when you're trying to move. You're getting a rush and you forget to do things. I do have another locomotive, the 681, the big one that I was working on, the 686. I had to order a new E-unit for it. That also just came in today. The E-unit that was on that thing was completely, this is why it was not doing what it should. Somebody had taken it apart. It was a mess. No matter what I did, I couldn't make it work. So I ordered a new E-unit for it. I'll be putting that together, and I'll be shooting a video of that on the track running later on in the coming weeks. And that'll probably be about it. And of course, the shop cat is here. You see, she has to make sure I'm doing everything right. Come here, nice kitty. Come on. And anyway, I'll be probably shooting a couple more videos, maybe, as the cat and the dogs here. They're really curious. Anyway, before we move, again, we're in the middle of closing here and closing on the new place and packing, and we have to wait for the roads to open up. Here we live off grid, and we have to use snowmobiles or tractor machines to get in and out. So moving is that's not really happening until the road, but there's a lot of stuff that still has to be done. So I'm going to do what I can until we get out and settled into our new house. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. This is either the, I believe this is the B version. There's an A and a B. And again, I'll have to do a little more looking into this. Looking at it in the pictures, it looked like the B version. And now that I'm sitting here holding it, it looks like it could be the A as well. So I will do a little more research and look into it. And after I'm done, whichever one I do not have, I'll be hunting down to find. Hi, Amarok. Everything must go to the lab. This is our lab. Okay, I'm going to see if this thing will move. Supposedly it does. According to the guy that I bought it from, said it does move. We're about to find out. Ooh. It appears when that red light comes on, it's shorting out.
Yeah, there was a spark at the front too.
Yeah, there's a bit of a spark. Okay, as you can see, it does not want to move. It sparks. So, this, of course, is another one of those non-running. The other thing I noticed when I was looking at it, comparing it to the 1947 Dreyfuss, this one is missing the piece for the light bulb. There's a piece that clips on here, and of course a wire that runs back. And also the lens for the light is got a big chip in it. They sell them online. I'll be buying some because most of Lionel's locomotives do use that same type of light. So anyway, now that I know this does not run, and I see a couple issues right off the bat here with probably wires shorting, it will get pulled down and it will get good cleaning and probably new wires, and it will run just as well as the other one does. Also, while I got you here, here's the 681. This is the destroyed E unit. There's a little package over here. The new E unit's in here. That came in today. Also, you got to see a couple of my other little projects going on here. I've got a crane here. This needs new rigging. I have the rest of the parts sitting around here. This is the part, the card that goes with this, basically. And this was actually filthy, and as you can see, this is broken and it's missing the chimney. What I intend to do is, I can find these online that are whole, but what they want for this, I paid for the whole thing. So I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, cut it down. I'm gonna buy some styrene that's the same thickness as the roof, and I'm going to extend and build my own, and then I'm going to paint it. I know to some people that's kind of a sacrilege, painting vintage Lionel, but if you look real close at this, gray was not its original color. If you look in there, red was the original color of these boxes here. Both of them have red on the inside. So these were painted at one time, probably at the factory, before they came out. This, of course, was gray. So I'm going to repair this roof. I'm looking for the chimney that goes with this. And then I'm probably going to do a little touch-up painting and paint these and the latches, you know, do a little weathering maybe. And of course, like I said, this is going to get painted and weathered when I fix it. And again, this is all stuff that's going to happen later on down the road. I have the trucks hanging out somewhere in one of these that go with this. They need to be, they were rusty. They need to be taken apart, cleaned thoroughly, and lubricated so they roll. Anyway, that's pretty much everything for the engine house today. That's everything I've got going on. And I'll shoot another video when that is up and running, and you can see that moving, and then of course everything will get packed up. So have a great day. Bye.